Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and today we are actually going to talk a little bit about the rotation. It is not going to be something very complicated. The full guide will be when it's closer to release because there may be some things that they buff or nerf. So remember, video guides do need to be a little bit more careful when actually publishing because the information kind of gets that snapshot there. So as always, do remember that we have the sublety rogue sheet that is always available in the description. I also will put a card over there so people can check. There is kind of an index of all of the videos. I will be taking off the pre-patch ones when the expansion actually releases next week on Wednesday, but you won't lose much information. In this case, the rotation itself hasn't changed much, but we are talking in this video about our Apex. As sublety, we have this apex called Ancient Arts. It has three parts. The first part makes it so where something expends shadow techniques, you have a 20% chance per stack expended to create a shadow clone. This means that, of course, if you expend 5 combo points, you are going to create the clone 100%. This also means that if you are at 0 combo points and you use backstab, you're also going to get a clone, but that's not that important. And ignore the talents. I was using these two level. These are not the, let's say, good talents for general things. And I'm going to talk about the second one. Shadow damage increased by 10%. That is very cut and dry. Shadow clones have a 100% chance to trigger shadow techniques effect. This means that you get at least one shadow technique per clone that you create. This works with the Apex ones and also with Secret Technique. Secret Technique creates one clone, and then you have Shadowcraft. Then Shadowcraft makes it so you create two clones instead. That's why while you are in dance, you are going to see that your shadow techniques go up super high. And then lastly, we have the three. That is if you have an attack that builds common points and you have at least 5 after capping your combo points, 5 shadow techniques, you are going to proc ancient arts, and after that finisher, you will get your combo points back. And of course, because we are expending shadow techniques, we are going to proc the apex 1, making it so you proc a clone, and then you are also proccing the apex 2, making that clone proc 2 shadow techniques. Can you see more or less where this goes? We get a lot of clones, a lot of shadow techniques, and this makes it so in single target. Very important because in single target, our shadow strike actually does quite a bit of damage. Makes it so it's actually worth it to use a builder while you are in full combo points to keep proccing the apex at full combo points. What is it? It's, for example, here, as you can see, I have full combo points, and this is a tank damage, so I was dying. But here you can see that I have full combo points, and let's say I go into dance. To remember that we want to use macros, like here I have a macro that uses my dance, and then my secret technique, and then I will put normally, and then here you can see you want to keep using shadow strike if you at least have 5 of those. It's important to know that you need to be careful because as you saw what I was doing there, sometimes I had actually only 4 of my shadow techniques instead of 5. So that's why it actually didn't proc my ancient arts. That can be very easy if you have like a shadow technique thing that says how many you have stored. Now, for example, let's go into it again. You can see I have it here. Now I have 14. So it's going to be very easy, even without Shadow Blades, to go and get those Apex procs. You can make this proc easier if you have like 4 or 5 Shadow Techniques before going into dance, because while you use secret technique, you are going to have those 4 extra shadow techniques that will proc on your finisher, and then it helps to begin and have a lot of them. Otherwise, it's likely going to happen that you don't have enough, and you have to be careful because if you don't proc ancient arts, you actually do want to use the finisher normally and then keep on going. This is around a 1.5 DPS upgrade in single target. As I said before, in AoE it's not worth it. So if you go into the normal things, you will just keep. Do remember to spend your scoop, but on other things you can use the double there. As you can see, I used it wrongly, but you just keep using the doubles in AoE. Not because the finisher itself as not worth to use, but mainly because Shuriken Storm in AoE, like it does some damage, but not enough damage difference in single target that you get more power on that global losing it. Because also you also generate all of your combo points, because you remember Shadow Strike now generates 2. Instead, Storm could generate full combo points. You do have that leeway to have all of those just as a normal thing. So you would get those doubles. Also, don't remember to use your coup de grace. And you will be able to see that Sublety Rogue it's actually kinda good in AoE and in other places. Of course, our single target damage is nothing crazy right now, but at least for control AoE and to have kind of a little bit of burst, you will have a decent amount of damage. Well, that is everything that I wanted to say about Apex Maxing. Do remember that everything is subject to change. If they buff Storm more, maybe we also use this in AoE. If they nerf Apex or other things, we may not use this. This is, of course, something that is kind of cool, so I hope they keep it. But for now, that's everything. I'll see you on the next video.